was dead. To begin with, this must be distinctly understood, or nothing wonderful can come from the story I am going to relate. Marley was as dead as a doornail. Scrooge and Marley had been partners. Scrooge was his sole executor, his sole administrator, his sole friend, and sole mourner. Scrooge never painted out old Marley's name. There it stood, years afterward, on the warehouse door, Scrooge and Marley. Scrooge was a tight-fisted hand at the grindstone, a squeezing, wrenching, grasping, scraping, clutching, covetous old sinner, as hard and sharp as flint, from which no steel struck out generous fire. External heat and cold had little influence on Scrooge. No warmth could warm him, nor wintry weather chill him. He was secret and self-contained, as solitary as an oyster. No one ever stopped Scrooge in the street to say with gladsome looks, "My dear Scrooge, how are you? When will you come to see me?" No beggars implored a trifle. No children asked him what it was o'clock. No one ever once in all his life inquired the way to such and such the place of Scrooge. But what did he care? It was the very thing he liked. To edge his way along the crowded paths of life, warning all human sympathy to keep its distance. Once upon a time, of all the good days in the year, on Christmas Eve, old Scrooge sat busy in his counting house.
Mr. Cratchit!
Yes, Mr. Scrooge?
What, pray tell, do you think you are doing?
Putting more coal in the fire, sir. It's quite cold out and it's almost out.
Mr. Cratchit, it's well known that when the body is occupied by vigorous work, it provides its own heat, which does not require the burning of expensive coal. Coal for which I pay for. Now, sir, if you find you do not have enough work to keep you warm, perhaps I am no longer in need of your services. If that be the case, I'm sure you find it rather more cold outside than inside. Now return to your work.
Yes, sir.
Merry Christmas, Bob Cratchit.
Merry Christmas, Fred, and a Happy New Year.
Oh, I thank you, Bob. And how's that splendid family?
Very well indeed. In fact, just yesterday...
Mr. Cratchit! If I have to remind you, sir, about your lack of diligence one more time, you'll be spending your Christmas by losing your employment.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
Merry Christmas, Uncle. God bless you.
Ah! Humbug!
Christmas a humbug, but why?
I most certainly do mean it. Merry Christmas. What right have you to be merry? You're poor enough.
What right have you to be dismal? You're rich enough.
Oh, humbug.
Ah, don't be cross, Uncle.
What can I be when I live in a world of fools such as this? What is Christmas time to you but a time you find yourself to pay bills with no money to pay them with? A time but you find yourself a whole year older, but not 1 hour richer. Why, if I had it my way, every fool that went around with Merry Christmas on his lips would be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stick of holly through his heart.
Uncle!
Nephew! You keep Christmas in your way, sir. Let me keep it in mine.
Keep it, but you don't keep it.
Then let me leave it alone. Can't say it's ever done you any good.
Well, there are many things that I've derived good that I've not profited by, and I dare say Christmas among the rest. But I've always thought of Christmas as a good, kind, forgiving, charitable time. A time when all people can by one consent open their shut-up hearts freely. And so, though I have never put a scrap of gold nor silver in my pocket, I say God bless it.
You're quite the powerful speaker, sir.
Oh,
I wonder you don't go into Parliament, so
Don't be cross. Come dine with us tomorrow.
dine with you? I'd see you in hell first.
But why?
You married, sir, against my wishes. You married a girl with no dowry. I see no reason to bless a union I do not agree of.
Uncle, we fell in love.
In love? You fell in love? If there's anything more stupid than Christmas, it's love. Good afternoon, sir.
I ask nothing from you. I want nothing of you. Why can't we just be friends?
Good afternoon, sir.
I'm sorry with all my heart to find you so resolute, but we've never had a quarrel to which I've been a part of. And I've made this journey in homage to Christmas. I'll keep my Christmas spirit to the last. I say Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Good afternoon, sir.
Oh, Scrooge and Marley, I believe I've had the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley.
Mr. Marley died 7 years ago. 7 years ago this very night, in fact.
My most humble condolences, sir.
Madam, this is a place of business. Please conduct some or leave.
Oh, yes, of course. At this festive season of the year, sir, it is more than highly desirable that we should make some slight provision for the poor and destitute who suffer greatly at this time. Thousands are in want of common necessities. Hundreds, thousands are in want of common comforts, sir.
Are there no prisons?
Plenty of prisons.
And the workhouses? Are they still in operation?
They are still. I wish I could say they were not.
Then the treadmill and the poor law are in full vigor then?
Both very busy, sir.
Oh, splendid! For a moment there, from the way you spoke, I was worried something had stayed them in their useful course.
A few of us are endeavoring to raise a fund to buy the poor some drinks and meats and means of warmth. What should I put you down for?
Nothing.
You want to remain anonymous?
I wish to be left alone! Since you asked my wishes, there is your answer. I do not make myself merry at Christmas, nor can I afford to make idle people merry. If the less fortunate are in need, they must visit the aforementioned establishments.
Many can't go there. Many would rather die.
Then they had better do so and decrease the surplus population.
Surely you do not
It's
mean...
not my business. It's well enough that a man understands his own business and leaves the business of others alone. Mine occupies me constantly. Good afternoon, madam.
Mr. Scrooge. Mr. Scrooge.
What?
About tomorrow, sir.
What about it then?
Well, it is Christmas Day.
I suppose you want the whole day off then?
If it's not so much as an inconvenience.
It's not convenient. It's not fair either. If I were to dock your pay even half a crown for it, you'd consider yourself ill-used. And yet, you do not think me ill-used when I'm forced to pay a full day's wage for absolutely no labor.
But, sir, it's only one day a year.
Oh, a poor excuse to pick a man's pocket every December 25th. Very well, then. If you must have the whole day, be here all the earlier the next.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Oh, and have a very...
Scrooge took his usual melancholy dinner in his usual melancholy tavern. As always, he ate alone and unnoticed in a city full of people. As he walked the streets to his home, a home which had once belonged to Jacob Marley, he began to feel an odd sensation, as if someone were watching him. And though there were no other people visible on that dark and dismal street, still it seemed as if...
What? Who's there? Come out and show yourself. If you do not come out this instant, I'll call the constable. Do you hear me, sir? I'll see you slapped in handcuffs. Who are you?
But there was no answer, nor could Scrooge see any person. There was only the cold and bitter wind that blew down the lane. As Scrooge found himself greatly disturbed, he hurried home at a much more faster pace than was normal for him. Once he was inside his door, he locked himself in. Double locked himself in, which was not his custom. Once he was secured behind his gloomy door and dressed in his gloomy gown, he began to reflect upon the odd sensations he had just experienced and came to the only conclusion that a man of Scrooge's temperament was capable of.
Just the wind is all. Playing tricks. Humbug. Nothing but utter humbug.
Ebenezer Scrooge?
It is humbug still!
Believe me, Ebenezer.
What do you want from me?
Much.
Who are you?
Ask me who I was.
Very well. Who were you then?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley. You don't believe in me?
I do not.
What evidence would you have of my reality beyond that of your senses?
I do not know.
Why do you doubt your senses?
Because the littlest of things can affect them. A slight disorder of the stomach can make them cheat. Why, you could be an undigested bit of beef, a blot of mustard, a crumb of cheese, a fragment of an underdone potato. Why, I'd say there's more gravy than grave about you. Mercy!
Man of the worldly mind, do you believe in me or not?
I do! I must! But why do spirits walk the earth? Why do they come to me?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad among his fellow men and travel far and wide. And if that spirit does so not in life, it is condemned to do so after death. It is doomed to wander through the world. Oh, woe is me, and witness what it cannot share, what might have shared on earth, and turn to happiness.
I see you wear a chain. Why is that?
I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it link by link and yard by yard. I girded the dawn of my own free will, and of my own free will I wore it. Is its pattern strange to you, Ebenezer Scrooge? Or would you know the weight and length of the strong coil that you bear yourself? It was as full and heavy and as long as this 7 Christmas Eves ago. You have labored on it since. It is a ponderous chain.
Oh, Jacob, speak comfort to me, Jacob.
I have none to give, Ebenezer Scrooge. I cannot rest. I cannot stay. I cannot linger anywhere. In life, my spirit never rolled beyond the narrow limits of our money-changing home, and weary journeys lie before me.
But you're always such a great man of business, Jacob.
Business? Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, and benevolence were all my business. Why did I walk through crowds of fellow beings with my eyes turned down and never raised them to that blessed star to which the wise man led the wise man to a poor abode? Were there no poor homes to which his light would have conducted me? Hear me, my time is nearly gone. I am here tonight to warn you that you have yet a chance and hope of escaping my fate.
You are always such a good friend to me, Jacob. I thank you.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits, sir.
Is that the chance and the hope that you mentioned, Jacob?
It is.
I think I'd rather not.
Expect the first tomorrow when the bell tolls 1.
Can't I have them all at once and be done with it, Jacob?
Expect the second when the bell tolls 2. Expect the third when the bell tolls 3. 3.
Scrooge tried to say humbug, but stopped at the first syllable. And being from the emotion he had undergone, or the fatigues of the day, he went straight to bed and fell asleep upon the instant.
yourself straight. Hello? Is there anyone there? Ah! Wrong in death, just as you were wrong in life, old Jacob. Do you hear me? Are you the spirit I was foretold would come?
I am.
Who and what are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
No, your past.
What brings you here?
Your welfare.
Why, I'm much obliged, but I think a good night of solid rest would do me more in that department.
I am here for your reclamation. Take heed. Rise and walk with me.
Spirit! I am immortal. I will fall. Besides, the temperature must be below 0, and I'm not properly dressed in the slightest.
Bear but a touch of my hand, and you shall be upheld in more than this.
Scrooge took the hand of the spirit, seeing no alternative, and was amazed to find himself transported through the wall. Upon emerging from the other side, he saw that the city had entirely vanished. Not a vestige of it was to be seen. The dark and the mist had vanished with it, for it was a cool, crisp winter day with snow upon the ground.
Good heavens! I was bred in this place. I was a boy here.
Do you remember the way?
Remember it? Why, I can walk it blindfolded. Look there, it's my old schoolhouse.
These are but shadows of things that have been. They have no consciousness of us. The schoolyard is not quite deserted. A solitary child, neglected by his friends, is left there still.
Yes, I am aware.
Do you recognize this child, Ebenezer Scrooge?
It is I.
Why are you left here all alone?
The other boys have gone home to be with their families for Christmas.
But not you?
No. My father, he was... No, I always remained.
How sad.
Oh.
To be all alone on Christmas Day.
Oh, but I was not alone. Look, see how I read? In these books, I found my solace. Ali Baba and the Sultan's groom turned upside down by a genie. Robinson Crusoe and Friday running for their lives and sailing around the world. Why, with companions like those, how could you ever say I was alone? I never felt lonesome as a child. Not when I had a book in my hand. Never. Never. Poor boy. Fan! Why, it's my sister Fan. She's been dead for years.
Fan, how wonderful to see you.
Ebenezer, a Merry Christmas to you, dear brother.
I had forgotten how beautiful she was.
Is that all you have forgotten?
Dear Ebenezer, I have the most wonderful Christmas present for you.
Why, Fan, to see you is present enough.
Why, I hope you shall feel the same way after seeing me every day.
What?
That is your Christmas present, brother. I have come to bring you home, dear Ebenezer, to bring you home.
Home, Fan.
Yes, home for good and all, home forever and ever. Father is so much kinder than he used to be. He spoke to me so gently one night when I was going to bed that I was not afraid to ask him once more if he might come home. And he said, yes, you should, and sent me in the coach to bring you. And you're to be a man, and are never to come here again. But first we're to be together all the Christmas long, and have the merriest time in all the world.
You are quite the woman, Fan. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much this means to me.
Or you to me, brother, and I swear we shall never be separated again, as long as we both shall live.
Quickly then, let us leave this dreary place. If I am forced to spend one more minute within its walls, shall surely expire.
Oh, what a Merry Christmas, Fan. And the happiest New Year ever, Ebenezer.
So she did, Spirit. You are right in that regard. I shan't say it again.
She died a woman and had, as I recall, children?
One child.
True. Your nephew, Fred.
Yes.
Well, I'm sure that Fan, wherever she is, must be comforted with the knowledge that her son has someone to look after him, as she looked after you. Come. We have another Christmas to visit.
Ding dong merrily on high, in heaven the bells are ringing. Ding dong merrily the sky is lit with angels singing. Gloria, Hosanna in excelsis.
Do you know this place?
Know it? Why, I was apprenticed here.
Yo ho, my boys!
Why, bless my heart. It's old Fezziwig, alive and well again.
Yo ho, my boys! No more work tonight. Christmas Eve, Tom. Christmas, Ebenezer. Let's have those books put away and closed before a man can say Jack Robinson. Clear away, my lads. Make plenty of room. There's much festivities to be done before this night is out. Why, if there be one bite of cold roast or one dram of cheer left over ere this night is out, I shall have to hang my head in shame in the streets.
Ha! The day, husband, that you hang your head in shame shall be the day that judgment is casted upon thee.
Oh, why, Mrs. Fezziwig, alive as well.
Tom, Ebenezer, see how I am tormented by this disastrous spouse of mine. Oh, what foolishness in me ever caused me to betroth myself to one such as her.
Perhaps the same foolishness that caused you to follow me home for 17 Sabbaths in a row until my father threatened to call the constable if you did not leave me be. Oh, what foolishness caused me to intercede on your behalf.
Ah, but seeing as you were hopelessly smitten and in love with me, you had but little choice in the matter, my dear.
I had many choices, and they are much more pleasing to look upon.
Oh.
Now, enough of this foolishness, for our guests have arrived.
Ah, yes, welcome. Ah, Ebenezer, I believe you've made the acquaintance of the charming Miss Wilson.
Belle!
I've had that very pleasure. And you look most especially breathtaking tonight, Miss Wilson.
Why, thank you very much, Mr. Scrooge. You are most kind to say so.
You two lovebirds will have to excuse me. That wife of mine is far too tempting a catch to be left alone with so many eligible bachelors around. You know, Ebenezer, you'll find that finding the right companion in life is a key to a rich and happy life.
I find that my employer is most sound advice. Do you not, Miss Wilson?
Indeed I do, Ebenezer. In fact, I've been thinking greatly upon such matters in recent days.
And have you come to any conclusions?
Most assuredly, I have.
Belle, I have no money. I have nothing to offer you. I hope one day to make you a success. But as of yet, I am a poor man.
Which is all very well, Ebenezer, for I am a poor woman. And yet together I believe we shall be blessed with many riches that cannot be found in any bank or counting house.
Children! There is a future ahead of you, I dare say. Now come, be merry with the rest of the kids, for Christmas is but once a year.
Mrs. Fezziwig, if you do not come and dance with me upon the instant, I shall find one of these charming young ladies to take your place.
Ha! The only place that these ladies will take you is to the grave, so stop talking for once in your old life and dance with me.
What an old fool, Fezziwig.
What? Spirit! Whatever would possess you to say such a thing? Why, Fezziwig was one of the greatest men I ever knew. Perhaps the greatest. He was like a father to me.
Look at him, dancing like a monkey. Spending a very few pounds of your precious mortal money. 3 or 4 pounds at most. that so much that he deserves this praise?
It isn't that, Spirit. It isn't that at all. He has the power to make his employees unhappy or happy, to make our work light or burdensome, a pleasure or a toil. Why, with the happiness he gives, it's as great as if it had cost a great fortune.
What is the matter?
Nothing.
Something, I think.
No. It's just, I wish I could say a few words to my own clerk is all. It's nothing, really.
My time grows short. Look and see. Do you remember this Christmas Day, Ebenezer Scrooge?
Spirit, I do not wish to see this. Do you hear me? Take me home!
This is absurd. You're being ridiculous.
It matters little to you. Very little. Another love has displaced me in your heart. If this love will bring you the comfort and happiness that I sought to, I have no just cause to grieve.
What love has displaced you?
One of wealth.
But that is the way the world is. There is no lower shame than poverty, and nothing so well rewarded. No nobler cause than the pursuit of wealth.
You fear the world too much. I have seen your nobler aspirations fall one by one. Not only gain engrosses you. Is this not true?
What then? Even if I have grown so much wiser, what then? I'm not changed towards you. Am I?
Our contract is an old one. It was made when we were both poor and content to be so. You are changed. When it was made, you were another man.
I was a boy!
You are not who you used to be. I still am. At a time when we were one heart, we were happy. But I am fraught with misery now that we are two. I will not say how often and how keenly I have thought of this. It is enough that I have thought of it and can release you.
Have I ever sought release?
In words? No. Never.
In what then?
In a changed nature. In an altered spirit. Tell me, if we had not found each other before, would you seek me out and try to win me as you are now? Me, a dowerless girl?
You think not?
I release you with a full heart for the love of whom you once were. You may have pain in this. Perhaps a short-lived pain from which you are happy to awake from an unprofitable grief. May you be content in the life you have chosen.
Stop her! Fool! Spirit, conduct me home. I wish to see no more. Why do you torture me so? No more! Haunt me no longer!
with no sign of the spirit in sight. Exhausted and overcome by an irresistible drowsiness, he sank into a heavy sleep, where he remained until he was awakened by the toll of the clock. It was striking upon the hour of 2.
Come and know me better, man. I am the ghost of Christmas present. But pardon me, have you ever seen the like of me before?
Never.
Have never walked forth with the younger members of my family?
I'm afraid I have not. Do you have many siblings?
More than 1,800.
Why, a tremendous family to provide for.
Indeed. Come, take my robe.
Conduct me where you will, Spirit. Spirit, where have you led us?
Don't you know?
Why, I've never been here in my entire life.
This is the house of your clerk, Bob Cratchit. Come, we will enter.
Oh, Spirit, I could not. I have received no invitation. Besides, I have not dressed for such an occasion. Perhaps we should return to my own dwelling.
We will enter. Have no fear. Just as with my fellow spirits, they can neither see nor hear you. Come.
Whatever has got your father and Tiny Tim, and where is Martha? I do hope she won't be late for Christmas dinner. Here's Martha, Mother.
Merry Christmas, Mother.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Peter.
Merry Christmas, Martha. Mother was getting quite worried about you.
Whatever kept you, my dear?
We had a great deal of work to finish up last night and to clear away in the morning. Where are Father and Tiny Tim?
Here they come now, Martha. Quick, hide, Martha, hide.
Merry Christmas, my dears. My, where's Martha?
coming.
Not coming? On Christmas Day? Why ever so not?
It can't be helped. She had too much work to finish up.
But it won't be a true Christmas without Martha. Father, you must do something, please. Don't worry, Tiny Tim. I wouldn't miss Christmas with you for the world. Martha! Merry Christmas, Tim. Merry Christmas, Father.
Merry Christmas, my dear. Oh, what a horrid trick to play on me. Not Christmas Day yet.
And how was little Tim at church?
As good as gold and better. Somehow he gets so thoughtful when he sits there all by himself. And he thinks the strangest things you've ever heard. He told me on our way home that he hopes the people at church saw him sitting there because he was a cripple. And it would be pleasant to them to remember upon Christmas Day who made lame beggars walk and blind men see. And so, just like our Tiny Tim, he shall be healed as well. He gets stronger and stronger by the day.
Yes, Robert, I'm sure he does.
Now that we've all assembled, let us feast, a feast which your mother has prepared mightily. She has prepared the finest goose with the finest stuffing with the finest plum pudding in all of England.
And so the Cratchit family sat down to their Christmas feast. It would not have taken much, I suppose, to notice the feast in which the house in which the feast was being served was cold and cramped. And the clothes that the family wore, although clean, were shabby and had been mended perhaps a few more times than was advisable. And the goose, when it finally appeared, was much like the house, too small to provide for a family of the Cratchits' size. Yet there was stuffing and potatoes and applesauce to make up for the smallness of the goose, and love filled the rest. While it was true that there was not a morsel left on the table, it was also true that everyone had had enough. The love that turned the Cratchit hovel into a castle kept them from seeing the poverty that surrounded them.
Dare I say that the Queen of England did not dine as well as did the Cratchits?
Well, if I say so myself, I'm rather proud of the pudding.
As you should be, my dear, as you should be. And now, a toast. Merry Christmas, my dears. May God bless us. May we be thankful for our many blessings.
God bless us, everyone. Tim!
He's all right, my dear. He gets these spells every now and then, but he'll be right as rain in just a short time, won't you, my little angel?
Yes, Mother. I'm feeling much better already.
Tell me, Spirit, will the child live?
I see a vacant seat in the chimney corner, a crutch of no owner, carefully preserved. If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, the child will die.
No, Spirit, say it isn't so!
If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, none of my race will find him here. What then? If he be like to die, he had better do so, and decrease the surplus population.
Use my own words against me, Spirit.
Then perhaps in the future you will hold your tongue until you know what the surplus population is and where it lives. It very well may be in the sight of heaven you are more worthless, less fit to live than millions like this old poor man's child.
And now a toast to the founder of this feast, Mr. Scrooge.
Founder of the feast, indeed. I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast upon, and I hope he'd have a good appetite for it.
My dear, think of the children. It's Christmas Day.
Well, and it would have to be Christmas Day upon which one would wish the health of such a stingy, odious, mean, hard-hearted man such as Ebenezer Scrooge. You know he is, Robert. Nobody knows it better than you.
My dear, Christmas Day.
Very well. I shall drink his health for your sake and the day's, not for his. Long life to him. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. He'll be very merry and very happy, no doubt.
Come, Martha, let's sit by the fire and sing a song.
Shall we?
Splendid idea, Peter. Shall we, Tim?
Can I choose the songs, Martha? Please, may I?
Of course you may, Tiny Tim. But be warned, one and all, even though we're gifted with happiness and love, we're not as equally gifted with musical ability.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la.
Come, let us leave them in peace. We have other places to journey.
I have a game. I'm thinking of a beast. A horrible, monstrous, ferocious beast that stalks the streets of London.
A tiger?
No,
A lion?
no. You are an idiot.
A rat?
Close.
Ooh, an ass.
Closer still.
I know. It's your uncle, Ebenezer Scrooge.
Exactly.
Go on, dear. Tell I guess what your uncle said.
Oh, he said that Christmas was a humbug, and as I live, he believed it true.
Surely, exactly. Well, I have no doubts that miser, no living creature can be that sour.
Well, seeing as he hasn't given you the dubious pleasure of making his acquaintance, you'll have to accept my word. He's a comical old fellow, though his offenses carry their own punishment, and I have nothing to say against him.
Is he rich as they say he is, dearest?
Well, I suppose he is, but what of it? He doesn't do any good with his wealth. He doesn't make himself comfortable. He doesn't even give himself the satisfaction of leaving us when he dies.
Well, I have no patience for him.
I have. I pity him. I couldn't be angry with him if I tried. Who suffers by his ill whims? Himself, always. Here, he takes it into his head that he dislikes us, and he won't come and dine with us. What's the consequence? He loses out on a very good dinner, and the company of the most beautiful woman in all of London. And by not making merry with us, he loses out on some pleasant moments which could do him no harm. And so I intend to give him the same chance every year, whether he likes it or not, for I pity him.
Oh, my dear, perhaps you are quite finished making speeches. Perhaps our guest has enjoyed some pudding.
Yes, your pudding. Perhaps this year there will be more survivors.
Pity me? A poor man married to a poor woman, and he dare pity me?
You truly think them poor?
I am well aware of my nephew's financial situation. He has nothing.
Oh, I would make the same observation about you.
I'll have you know, Spirit, my word.
Your word is worthless, Ebenezer Scrooge. Well, here's our time together has ended. Fare thee well, Ebenezer Scrooge.
Spirit, where are you going? I do not know this part of town. I know not the way home. Please do not leave. I am afraid. Spirit, do not abandon me. Where have you gone? Please. I do not know my way home. Help me, please, Spirit. I am alone.
Ebenezer Scrooge, wealthy man of business, envied by all who passed him in the street for his money, his power, his influence, found himself on Christmas Eve forsaken and lost. His fortune of little use to him in this place, wherever this place was. But he was mistaken in one thing. He was not alone.
Are you the spirit of Christmas yet to come? Are you here to show me visions of things that have not happened yet, that may so in the future? Spectre of the future, I fear you most of all, more so than any other of your race I have encountered tonight. Will you not speak to me? Lead on then, spirit. The night wanes, and I know your time is precious to me.
No, I don't know much about it either way. I only know he's dead.
Why, Spirit, I know this place. I come to do business here every afternoon. Those are some of the people I do business with.
Well, when did he die?
Last night, I believe.
Well, what is it? Whatever was the matter with him? I thought he'd never die.
Heaven knows.
What did he do with his money?
Haven't heard. Left it to his company, I suppose. All I know, he hasn't left it to me, the old screw.
It's bound to be a very cheap funeral. Upon my life, I doubt anyone will ever go.
I don't mind going if there's a lunch, but I must be fed.
Spirit, I must confess, I am rather confused. Who was this man that they spoke of? Why, that's my table. But where am I? It's 1:30. I'm always here at this time. Why lead us here? This is the most vile part of the city.
Well, yeah.
I'm hoping you won't be none too particular about where certain items come from. Will you now, Joe?
Every person has a right to take care of themselves. He always did.
That's true enough. Besides, who's the worst for the loss of your things? Not a dead man, I suppose.
Certainly not. No, I imagine not.
You wouldn't think that he was dead, or Wicklow and Screw. Why wasn't he more natural in his life? He had been. No offense somebody to look after him when he was struck with death, instead of lying there, gasping out his last breath, alone, by himself.
Truer words were never spoken. It was a judgment on them, is what it was. What's this? What are these? Bed curtains? And you took them down, rings and all, with him lying there?
Yes, I did. And
Oh, Miss Sonic, you were born to make your fortune. And these are blankets? Eh? He didn't die to have anything catch it, did he?
I'm so fond of his company that I'd loiter about it if he did. Take a look at that shirt there. It's the finest he had. Not rust on it. And to think, they would have wasted it without me.
What do you mean, wasted it?
Buried him in it, of course. I had to take it right off him. Never heard of his place on it. Not a single soul will come to pay respects. Why, I'm a mind they could have buried stark naked and no one would have noticed. Now, come on, Joe. How much is your offer?
Well, what am I said?
I make it out to be 2 pounds, 5 and 6 pence, and not a penny more. I'm always too generous to the ladies. It's a weakness of mine, and it's what's going to put me in the poorhouse.
Spirit, what was the meaning of that? Why show me those awful criminals? I've never had dealings with the likes of them.
Spirit, this is the most fearful place. Perhaps we should head elsewhere. I understand, Spirit. You wish for me to raise the sheet? I cannot! I would if I could, but I haven't the strength. All you have shown me is death, and no emotion tied to it except avarice and indifference. I demand to be shown some compassion, some tenderness connected to death.
Took a child and set her in the midst of them.
The light hurts my eyes. The candle makes them weak. They're better now. You know, I would not show your father red eyes when he comes home, not for the world. It must be near his time. Yes, but I've known him to walk very fast with Tiny Tim on his shoulder. Very fast indeed.
And so have I.
But he was so light, and his father loved him so. It was no trouble. No trouble at all.
Sorry I'm late, my dear. I took a walk past there.
You went there, Robert, today?
Yes, and I wish you could have gone. It would have done you some good to see how green it is. But you'll see it often. I promised him that I'd take a walk there every Sunday. Oh, my boy. Oh, my sweet, sweet boy.
Please don't be so sad, Father.
We all miss him, and we always shall. But I know that however and whenever we are apart from one another, we shall, none of us, forget Tiny Tim, shall we?
We promise.
And I know that when we recollect how patient and mild he was, though he was a small, small child, that we must not fight among ourselves, and that we must count our many blessings. I'm a very happy man. A very, very happy man.
I need to see nothing more, Spirit. You've shown me all I have asked. Before I raise the sheet, answer me one question. Are these the shadows of the things that will be, or are they the shadows of the things that may be? Men's courses will foreshadow certain ends, and if not departed, they must lead them. But if the ends can be departed from, that the courses shall change. Tell me it is that with what you have shown me. No! Oh no, Spirit! Hear Good Spirit, your nature intercedes for me and pities me. Tell me I may yet change the shadows you have shown me. I will live. I will honor Christmas in my heart and keep it there all the year. I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall live within inside me always. I will not shut out the lessons they teach. Tell me I may wipe away the visions you have shown me. No! Spirit? Am I alive? I am alive! My bed curtains! They're not torn down! The shadows of things may be altered. They will be! Oh, Jacob Marley! On my knees I say it, Jacob! May God bless you and forgive you, my friend. Thank you. I don't know what to do. I'm as light as a feather, as happy as an angel, as merry as a schoolboy, as giddy as a drunkard. I don't know what day it is. I do not know how long I was among the spirits. I don't know anything. Oh, you there, boy. What day is it? I said there. What day is it, boy?
Today, why it's Christmas Day.
Christmas Day? Spirits! They were able to do it all in one night. I haven't missed it. Well, of course they were able to do it all in one night. The spirits, after all, they can do anything. You there, boy. Do you know the butcher shop down the street and around the corner?
Well, I should hope I did, for I've lived here my entire life.
Remarkable boy. Splendid indeed. Do you know if the prize turkey is still hanging in the window?
What, the one as big as me?
Yes, my buck, that's the one.
It's hanging there now.
Oh, it's delightful. Go and buy it for me.
You bleeding loony.
No. I'm in earnest. Go get the proprietor of the shop and send him to me. Come back with the man and I'll give you a shilling. Come back within 5 minutes and I'll give you half a crown. Oh, I'll send it to Bob Cratchit. He shan't know who sent it. Why, it's twice the size of Tiny Tim. The whole family will have a feast of lights they've never seen. They'll all be fit to be tied.
Old Scrooge, although if truth be told, did not seem as old as he once did, dressed quickly and set out to the streets. And though he walked those very same streets, he seemed to notice them for the first time in many and many a year. But most importantly, he seemed to notice the people that walked upon those very same streets for the first time in many and many a year as well.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Christmas, madam. Happy New Year, my boy. Sir, Merry Christmas to you indeed. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas to the both of you. Merry Christmas! Madam Poole, I believe.
Mr. Scrooge, I believe.
Yes, that is my name, though I fear it may not be pleasant for you to be hearing. Madam, I would like to apologize for the way I behaved yesterday. And if you'd allow me, I would like to make a donation in the amount of...
My dear Lord, Mr. Scrooge, are you serious?
I am, and not a farthing less. A great many back payments are in it, I assure you.
I don't know what to say to such a generous...
Do not say anything, but you will come by my office sometime and see me, won't you?
I will, sure. I surely will, sir.
Thank you, madam. I am much obliged to you. God bless you and Merry Christmas.
Scrooge walked the streets of London the whole day, breathing in the cool, crisp air. And as evening approached, he found himself at a certain doorstep. He passed the door at least a dozen times before he summoned the courage to knock.
Merry Christmas, Uncle Ebenezer.
Hello there, Fred. May I come in?
Yes, please do come in.
Thank you. Very kind of you.
I am sorry for disturbing you, nephew, but there was something I felt I must tell you.
What is it?
I wanted to tell you... Merry Christmas, Fred.
I beg your pardon?
No. I beg of yours. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to both you and your wonderful wife. Is she home?
Yes, she is.
I was wondering, dear nephew, if you'd do me the great honor of introducing us.
Nothing would give me a greater pleasure. Darling, could you come here a moment? I have a very good Christmas present for you.
Fred, I've already told you that you've given me quite enough Christmas presents. Oh, hello.
My dear, let me introduce to you my uncle, Ebenezer Scrooge. Uncle, this is my wife, Amelia.
It is an honor, madam. I do hope that one day you will find in your heart to forgive me for the unforgivable way I've treated both you and
Uncle.
I just wanted to say that my dear sister, Fred's mother, Fan, well, she would be so grateful to know her son has found such a wonderful and generous woman to be wed to. It would have been her fondest wish.
If you'll allow me to disagree with you, Uncle, it is my belief that her fondest wish would have been having you here in Fred's home for Christmas. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for making that wish come true. Will you come and dine with us tonight?
Oh, I possibly couldn't. I know you have company.
Uncle, you will dine with us even if I have to tie you to the chair.
If that is the case, I most humbly accept.
Scrooge felt at home in 5 minutes. There was a wonderful dinner, followed by a wonderful party with wonderful games and wonderful company. There was wonderful happiness. And on the next morrow, when Scrooge arrived at the counting house at his usual hour, he was surprised to find Bob Cratchit not there. No fire lit, nor candle burning. He was past his hour. And when the clock struck 9:15, and Bob Cratchit still had not arrived, it was a very serious matter indeed.
Mr. Cratchit, what is the meaning of this arriving at this hour?
I'm very sorry, sir. I'm way behind my time.
Yes, I believe you are. Step this way.
I'm very sorry, sir. It won't happen again. It's only one day a year, and I was making rather merry yesterday.
Now see here, my friend. I'm not going to stand for this sort of thing any longer. And therefore, I'm afraid to say, you have left me no choice. I'm going to be forced to double your salary.
Please, Mr. Scrooge, you must understand. beg your pardon?
Merry Christmas, Bob! I'm going to double your salary, and I'm going to endeavor to help you and your family in any way that I can. If you allow me to, of course.
But
Of course, we can discuss all the finer details later this afternoon over a Christmas drink. But first, it's freezing in here. We must get a fire going. I'm surprised we haven't got icicles growing on us, eh, Bob? Here, take this and go buy some more coal for the fire. Before you dot another I, Bob Cratchit.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir. Oh, and thank you, sir.
No, thank you, Bob Cratchit. A Merry Christmas to you and the happiest of New Years, with many more to come.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all and infinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he became a second father. He became as good a man, as good a friend, and as good an employer as any in the good old city knew, or any other city, town, or borough in the good old world. And it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, if any man alive possessed the knowledge. May that be said of us and all of us. And as Tiny Tim observed, may God bless us, every one.
Amen.